everyone. My name is Nihal. I'm from, actually, raise of hands, how many of you here are from the U.S.? All right, one, awesome. That's great. So our organizations started in LA. I'll let the video play and then I'll continue on with my presentation.
We are a group of young people working on ending Alzheimer's. Our mission is to find other young champions fighting Alzheimer's across the nation. To create a network of leaders who share our passion and vision with the ultimate goal of having an Alzheimer's-related organization on every single high school and college campus in America. Join the movement to get access to a plethora of ideas for Alzheimer's volunteering, advocacy, and fundraising. To stay in the know about all relevant Alzheimer's research and policy updates. And to receive recognition on a national level for any initiatives or programs that your chapter implements. The baby boomer generation is aging, and America will have a significant increase in the population of people 60 and up, doubling the number of dementia patients by 2030 and tripling by 2050. It is up to us, the youth, to help shoulder the burden of this disease. Even though we may not be affected by Alzheimer's directly, it is up to us to ensure that we are searching for solutions to the biggest strain on our healthcare system. Our greatest chance of finding a cure for this disease lies in our ability to rally the millennials towards this cause. Together, we can create a future worth remembering.
Cool. So that's a little bit about us, and I think in the course of this morning, I've been blown away at how much has been already being done out there in other countries and involving our generation actively to fight this. And it's almost disappointing that you know, America's not really doing more. But let me start by sharing a story that has really personally touched me. So Jason Rodriguez, he's a high school student, 17 years old, and he was doing really, really well. You know, he had the great GPA, he captained his varsity basketball team, and from what he told me, even took the cutest girl to the junior prom. And but 2 weeks before his senior year of high school, Jason's single mom sat him down, and they had the talk. This was not the normal talk. This was the dreaded talk that so many of us in this room have heard in one form or another. Jason found out his mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Now, in spite of being a smart kid, Jason didn't know what this meant. So, of course, he Googled it, and then he Googled, what is the cure for Alzheimer's? And out of desperation, he even Bing searched it. But neither Bing nor Google had the answers that Jason was desperately hoping for. Now, Ivy League-bound Jason was now forced to set aside his dreams and become the primary caregiver for his mom and prioritize her health. Now, this is not an uncommon story, and I'm here because I believe this shouldn't be the norm. So my name is Nihal Satyadev. I'm the co-founder of the Youth Movement Against Alzheimer's. And my involvement with Alzheimer's began in 2011 when I joined my first Alzheimer's lab, and I continue to devise experiments to this day. But 2 years ago, I started to get involved more on the policy and nonprofit side when I joined the public policy team of Alzheimer's Greater Los Angeles. I started to do data reports on the frequency of Alzheimer's in Southern California, and I was blown away by the statistics. And so to learn more, I attended a national policy forum in March of 2015. And here, I was really excited first to attend their youth forum, which I thought would be a great opportunity to connect with other college students of a similar mindset. But to my surprise, this youth forum was for anyone under 35. And I realized I was one of the youngest in attendance across the entire summit. And so this was really my first insight into seeing an opportunity to create change and inspire high school and college students to actively get involved in this cause. So 3 months later, the Youth Movement Against Alzheimer's, or YMA, was born. And 16 months after our inception, our message has spread to 33 chapters across college campuses and high schools in the U.S., and I'm proud to say that we are now the largest youth-led 501c3 Alzheimer's in the United States. Thank you. So I kind of prepared this speech to give it to high schoolers, but given this varied audience, I do want to share some of our other efforts. So YMA is really founded on 3 pillars. We have the advocacy-based model, which we bring in college and high school students. We have a caregiving program, which is started at UCLA. We partnered with the Division of Geriatrics, received a grant from the Eisner Foundation, and we've been able to basically train undergraduates on how to provide care and interact with these early-stage Alzheimer's patients, pair them together on a one-on-one setting based on similar interests and career paths, and provide caregiver respite time. So in the last 9 months, our program has been able to provide over 2,000 hours of caregiver respite, and we've recently received Generations United's Program of Distinction Award. Now, this is all great, but it really is localized to LA. We're able to help our local community, and our goal with our nonprofit long-term is to replicate this model at as many universities as possible and be able to create this intergenerational caregiver respite. Now, what's really exciting about this is that this is an opportunity for young people who have never really experienced the face of the disease to get a firsthand interaction with what it means to live with Alzheimer's. And so I think it's really exciting that many of the students, after spending a quarter in this program, have reconsidered their views on Alzheimer's and aging, and some have even picked up a minor in gerontology. So I think this program is really an opportunity for young people to redefine their career paths and see what is really, really motivating. So in pondering our growth and pondering how we've been able to spread our message across these chapters, I've realized that a lot of times for young people, it's simply telling them the ramifications of this disease. It's no surprise that we are worried that in the next 10 to 15 years, this disease will single-handedly break down our healthcare infrastructure. It is fair to say that we are scared that when our parents retire, they won't be able to seek appropriate housing or the appropriate care. And in America, at least, this disease, funding for this disease research is really frustrating that it becomes political. So we are trying to garner this large national youth message, provide them with opportunities to connect with local press, connect with local elected officials, give them opportunities to directly contact our executive board so that they can overcome any hurdles they might have in starting their own chapters, and really start letting the nation know, letting the world know that we as 14 to 21-year-olds really do care about this message. So I really am honored to be here today. I was really surprised when Christine reached out to us that there was a Youth Dementia Conference, because I would have never in 100 years thought that was something that's happening, and I'm so glad to be sharing our message today. And for the high schoolers who may be watching, who may be in this room, I do want to share 3 distinct opportunities that I think you all can be doing to really spread this larger message of youth involvement. First, social media is fantastic. I'm super active on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook, just like all of you. So share a website, share your own story, share what you learned today. Conversations start from the simplest of posts. Social media is a super powerful, superpower really beholden to our generation, so let's use it. If you don't have social media, or even if you do, there's a lot of power in sharing your own experience today at this conference with your friends who couldn't make it out. 2, learn more. Today, I, along with several of these other panelists, were able to provide you a few broad facts about dementia and our generation's involvement. But this disease has so many more facets to it. What causes dementia? Who can get dementia? How young can you be before you have a chance of getting dementia? While this disease is often linked to a loss of memory, it's a lot more than simply forgetting things. And 3, start a chapter. There's no better way to leap forward in how you impact those around you than to become a local source of inspiration. Starting a chapter is as simple as finding 2 friends and an advisor at your school. As I mentioned briefly, we give you direct contact information, and you'll also be provided with your own webpage to showcase your efforts. And I've also heard rumors that it looks good on your resume, but that might be a lie. Our teams really worked hard to pave this path on how to create successful chapters so you can really hit the ground running. The perception of Alzheimer's and dementia for too long is that it's been an old person's disease. This needs to change. By engaging youth, empowering the brightest minds of our generation, and establishing global connections amongst current and former researchers, we are hoping to make that difference. And together with the millions of youth across the nation, like Jason and like myself, we can be the first generation to avoid this disease. Let's create a future worth remembering. Thank you.